At Deception, Maxie and Brooklyn look over the Crimson issue with their products featured in the ads, and Brooklyn says their sales charts are through the roof. Maxie is happy to see her so invested in the company, but asks if she is still planning on handing the company over to her. Brooklyn promises she is, and Maxie is moved to tears. Lucy and Sasha arrive, and Lucy wonders what is going on and why Maxie is so cozy with the resident rat. Maxie says they are just happy about the spread in Crimson. Sasha praises the ad campaign, but suddenly Tracy appears and says they've been deceived, and someone needs to be held accountable. Tracy says their ad layout was changed, and they were promised an interview which isn't in the magazine. Maxie says Carly contacted them as there was a layout and spacing issue, but Carly gave them extra ad space for not featuring an interview. Sasha defends the issue, but Tracy suggests Maxie should sell her shares of Deception and go back to Crimson if she loves what Carly did so much. Brooklyn defends Maxie and says the campaign has brought more attention to their website, which translates to sales. Lucy gets bored and decides to head out as she has more important things to do with her time. Annoyed, Maxie tells Sasha they should go. Later, Brooklyn talks to Tracy about the wedding, and she thinks there is someone she wants to bring, which is why she pitched a fit and not getting a +1 on the invite. She worries her granny is lonely and afraid to ask this person to the wedding, but she shouldn't be as she is Tracy Angelica Quartermain. Tracy admits there is someone, but there is no point in asking them. Brooklyn asks why. Is he going to be there? Brooklyn gasps and realizes it's Gregory. Brooklyn thinks it would be nice for Tracy to be on Gregory's arm instead of running into him at the event. Maxie and Sasha go to the bistro, and Maxie rants about Tracy not knowing what she's talking about with the issue. Sasha says Brooklyn will handle Tracy and asks if something else is on Maxie's mind. Maxie is close to being financially solvent again, which Sasha says is good news. Maxie admits Spinelli's apartment repairs will be done soon, and then he'll move out. She says she likes having him around, and he is a great listener and good with the kids. Sasha suggests she ask him to stay, but Maxie feels she's asked too much of him already. At Charlie's, Trina opens up to Joss about her feelings of loss. Joss felt similar when Oscar passed, and that's how she knows Trina will make it through this. Trina asks about Dex, and Joss admits there are things she can't tell her about why Dex left. Trina asks her to tell her what she can. Joss fills her in on what she can, and Trina asks if Sonny's guards are making him stay away. Joss gets an idea, as she has most of the guards' numbers, and looks at Spinelli thinking he can trace their phones. At the bar, Felicia thanks Spinelli for going through this ruse of hers to help Maxie out, but she thinks it's time for him to return to his place as Maxie is almost back on her feet. Spinelli is disappointed and says there are still so many things that could happen and Maxie could find herself in a worse situation than she is. Felicia gets the impression he doesn't want to move out. He makes an excuse that he is training the kids to play fantasy role-playing tabletop games, and this would interrupt their learning. Cody appears, says he overheard them, and suggests Spinelli tell Felicia the truth. Spinelli gives Cody a look, and Cody claims Spinelli just wants to spend time with the kids, and they'd miss him if he leaves now. Felicia suggests they can work out some kind of arrangement to wean him out of the house. Lucy shows up to grab Felicia, saying she needs her to come with her now. Lucy drags her out of the bar. Cody tells Spinelli Felicia is right about moving out. Spinelli also admits Cody is right, and he feels more than platonic feelings for Maxie. However, he can't tell her and risk their friendship by telling her. Outside of Charlie's, Lucy asks Felicia if Maxie has said anything to her about Deception and that Viper Brooklyn. Lucy can't figure out why Maxie is making Brooklyn look so good. Felicia doesn't know what is going on between them, why Maxie is being so generous with her, or why Brooklyn is invested in Deception. She thinks they are just supporting one another. She wishes she could be of more help. Lucy says she has to go and takes off. Back inside, Cody finds a flyer for karaoke at the pub that night. Meanwhile, Joss approaches Spinelli to talk to him. She asks if he can help her find the location of a cell phone off a number. He says he can and asks what this is about. She suggests the less he knows the better. Meanwhile, Cody calls Sasha and convinces her to bring Maxie to Charlie's as Spinelli will be tells here Gregory their numbers are up and that should satisfy their new publisher. Nana enters and says she's never satisfied. Alexis didn't know they had a meeting today. Nina says they didn't, but she was excited after reading the article on Olivia. She wants to help Alexis find her Pulitzer. Alexis thinks that's a little lofty, and a daily paper is much different from a monthly magazine. Alexis suggests she take time studying the business. Nina intends to, but first, she wants to add a syndicated gossip column to the paper. Alexis refuses to let the Invader be turned back into a seedy tabloid. Nina says she can still provide quality journalism, but they need to increase readership growth, and it pays to give the readers what they want. Alexis realizes Nina's already hired someone. Nina says she knows Alexis is open-minded and not afraid of change, even if she herself doesn't know it. Nina leaves, and Alexis tells Gregory they have to convince Nina there will be no gossip columnist, and if not, they need to hightail it out of there with their dignity intact. Gregory asks her not to hate him, but Nina might be onto something. He says gossip columns started to reach out to the elites, and Nina wants a subscription-based paper, not an ad revenue-based paper. He thinks perhaps if they want to bring in new readers to read the good stuff they give them for dinner, they need to entice them with some dessert. Alexis doesn't like it and suggests Gregory find an alternative way to raise revenue. He'll get back to her, but does have a favor to ask. Alexis tells Gregory she'll be happy to grant his favor and looks at her schedule. Tracy arrives to see Gregory. Alexis blurts out that she's cleared her schedule and will be happy to be his +1 at the wedding. Gregory asks Tracy what she needs, and Tracy claims she was just coming to confirm his RSVP and is happy Alexis can join them. Tracy leaves and is clearly disappointed. At Crimson, Drew raves to Carly about her first issue, but Carly is focused on the article on Olivia's death. Olivia is the woman who planted the car bomb that killed Morgan, and this is stirring the memories up for her. Drew heard about her death and thought about Morgan too, but then saw the issue. Carly knows she should be happy today, but she can't stop dwelling on her son's senseless death. She thinks she should be able to bounce back from this, but Drew says not when it comes to losing a child. Drew and Carly sit down, and he suggests she take the day off. Carly won't, as her staff worked so hard to put out this issue, and she wants to support them. As they embrace, Nina appears. Nina explains she's just checking on the office repairs and if they are satisfied. Carly says she is, and Nina notes she's much easier to deal with than her boyfriend. She says Drew was so worried she'd be competition for Carly by starting a rival magazine that he made calls and convinced everyone in the business not to work with her. However, Nina thanks Drew for freeing her from the world of fashion, as Valentin bought the Invader and she is the new publisher. Now she is on to far better and bigger things. Nina says she's really excited about the new stories coming, especially how those at the top will do anything to stay there. She tells them not to cancel their subscription and walks out. Nana leaves and Drew fumes at her nerve. Carly says they know Nina is hateful, so why he's going out of his way to antagonize her. Lucy returns to Deception and demands to know what Brooklyn and Maxie are up to. Brooklyn says they are just trying to run Deception. Lucy says what if she were to go to Tracy and tell her that they are working against what Tracy wants for Deception. Brooklyn asks Lucy what she wants for her silence. Lucy says, I want in Ava appears at the penthouse and didn't expect Sonny to be there, so she says she'll get out of his hair. Sonny says she can't avoid him forever, and they need to talk about her sister. Ava points out they weren't close, and she did hold her hostage once, and she's grateful she's dead. Sonny thinks she might not be when he hears what he has to say. He reveals the people who have tried to kill him twice were the ones who killed Olivia. Ava gives them credit for at least doing one good deed and taking Olivia out. Ava excuses herself to check on Avery when there is a visitor. Selina arrives to see Sonny and says, You never write, you never call. Ava returns and finds Selina arguing with Sonny. Selina has come to end their alliance, but Sonny suggests that's not a good idea. She asks why they shouldn't dissolve their partnership. He said she is not a threat to his business, so she asks why he didn't tell her she has a target on her back. Sonny had planned to, but something happened. He needs Selina to give him her word this goes no further than them, and says there is a leak in his organization and he needed to solve it before warning her.